Good morning, everybody. It's Barb Katie here. I hope you're having an awesome day. I certainly am. It's Monday. It's sunny. I'll be going to my meeting after I chat with you, and I have made it through an absolutely exciting weekend without having to call on a TOPS friend to help me along. And that's one of the things I wanted to chat with you about today is what do we do when we're struggling? Do we really reach out and take advantage of our fellow members who are there to help us, or do we try to tough it out on our own? And what are the consequences of either course of action that we may take? And what is our reasoning behind the choices we make? Dealing with eating issues is not necessarily something I guess you would call as a medical emergency or life-threatening emergency per se, but it can certainly seem like that at the moment when you are engaged with an internal dialogue with yourself about the actions that you're taking. And very often I think that we find that our actions can lead us into a situation where we need to take some type of emergency management and affect the outcome in a more positive manner. When I was getting this talk ready, I kept running through my mind two words, affect and effect. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I get those two confused. And I remember back when I was in high school, an English teacher once said to me that think of affect, A-F-F-E-C-T, as a verb and effect as a noun, E-F-F-E-C-T. And that will help you keep things straight in your head. And I think that still today informs me. In case of emergency, please call a TOPS friend. Who are you going to call? Is it a close TOPS friend? Is it a mentor, maybe a COPS or someone who has lost a lot of weight and you admire and respect, that seems to be able to handle most situational issues that arise? Is it your leader who seems to have knowledge and understanding of the rules of the organization? Is it your weight recorder who always seems to be quite in tune with how you're feeling and how your journey is affecting you? Exactly who do you reach out to? That makes a difference, I think, when you're trying to cope with anything. Emergencies are by definition something that is serious, something that's unexpected, something that could in fact be dangerous, and something for which immediate action needs to happen to prevent the continuation of barreling down the road. And how many of us have been going along fine in our weight loss journey, and all of a sudden we hit a curve, a bump, an obstacle, something that threatens to derail our progress. And we know that we could, in a matter of moments, crash and burn in our efforts, whatever they might be. Very often it evolves around eating. What triggers an eating episode, a binge, overconsumption of food that you really don't feel you need? What is that trigger for you that has placed you in a place of jeopardy where you could, in a matter of moments, pretty much eliminate all the hard work that you have putting in for the last several days? We use food, many of us, in many different ways that have absolutely nothing to do with hunger. And perhaps our appetite is overtaking us at that moment. And it's fulfilling the need of some kind that we have that's really intense at that moment. Probably it's not hunger, but it's something that we need to examine and be able to get a handle on. One of the things about emergency situations is they require action. They require a plan of action. They require a level of preparedness. I think any of us that have gone through emergencies in our life are so grateful for the preparation that was made prior to the emergency arising and the knowledge that we had accumulated, maybe even the classes that we had taken prior to being put in a situation where this very stressful event occurred. I used to be a lifeguard. And in order to be a lifeguard at a public pool, you had to go through a series of courses and classes and tests. And you needed to have not only knowledge, but you had to have a certain amount of physical ability to perform the tasks that were going to be required of you in case of an emergency. Had I not had that, even though I may have labeled myself a lifeguard, I could have, in fact, even put other people in jeopardy because I would not have those tools I needed to draw upon when the emergency arose. And I think it's true in almost every life situation. We want to rely on those people who can help us most when the unexpected arises. And we need to prepare ourselves too for types of emergencies. We do it at home all the time. When my children were young, we had an emergency evacuation plan at the house in case there was a fire. Everybody knew what he was expected to do in order to successfully escape and make sure that all of us knew everybody got out okay. The same way in many other things that we did as a family, we had certain expectations if in fact a dangerous situation came along as to who would do what, when, where, why, and how, just so we were prepared in case we could take the appropriate actions. It is interesting to me when it comes to our health, we don't always seem to be as prepared and proactive, but such is the case. I know that very often for me, appetite will result in a desire to overeat, not hunger, appetite. And appetite is an entirely different animal. I have found that lack of energy will derail me really quickly when it comes to getting in the activity that I need to get into it. It may be lack of sleep. Something that's simple, yet that profound, can keep me from getting up, getting out, and getting about what I need to do. The same way with emotions. What am I looking for from food when I'm trying to cope with situational issues, issues of the heart, issues of with family that are emotional in nature? You know, I'm looking for some type of comfort. Especially with me, I tend to want to be the strong one for my family. And so I will stuff down a lot of emotional distress with food, because food to me can produce a comforting effect. It produces wonderful chemical releases in my brain that helps me. They are not helpful in terms of the long run solution to the problem, but immediately eating something when I'm trying to cope and be strong for everyone else helps calm me down and helps get me through what needs to be done so I can stay strong for them and appear to be in control of whatever needs to be done. Looking at the actions that we take, which is what ultimately affects the outcomes or the effect of the event. is very, very important. And this week, as we were going about our business here in the neighborhood, which is what triggered this talk to begin with, we had a little emergency. One of the children in the neighborhood was learning to ride his bike without training wheels. Something that we've all watched, probably gone through as parents, and enjoyed seeing the kids finally go freewheeling on their way. Well, the little boy in question on this occasion was doing really, really well. And he was just about in that point where he was going to be off on his own without his training wheels. And suddenly he hit a bump in the road, and it's a paved road, but it's a little bit rough. It's got some potholes and stuff in it. He hit a bump and he began to lose his balance, lose his center, lose his focus, all these things. And he began to panic because he was young, inexperienced, and did not have all the tools at hand that he needed to successfully navigate this new adventure he had taken on for himself. And he ended up crashing on the road up in front of the house, and he went face down into the pavement. Not good. He ended up knocking out his 2 front teeth. And of course, there's a lot of blood when that happens. And we found the teeth, and everybody is, sort of, oh, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And he's upset, he's crying. And fortunately, these were baby teeth, they grow back, but he was upset with himself because he thought he'd hurt his new bike, and he didn't want to ruin the bike. And so everybody is looking around in this emergency saying, oh, what do we do about his teeth? And one of the parents said, well, I remember when my children had this happen, we stuck the teeth, right back into the sockets, and they took hold, and they lasted until they were supposed to come out. We'll give that a try. At any rate, everybody got him up, got his bike up. It wasn't hurt badly, got him calmed down, did the little bit of first aid treatment that was required because he was not hurt terribly badly. Yes, he was hurt, but it was not life-threatening. And we proceeded back to our porches and our places and began conversation about this little emergency on our street and who we could call on for help and who pitched in and who knew what to do. And it was just really informative to me as I'm watching it in our life cycle. Who do you call on in an emergency? Which is why this talk is here today as a result of the little boy and his bicycle. Do I just not call on anybody for help? Is that what I need to do? Or do I need to have a plan of action in place? Well, after watching what happened over the weekend, I think we all need some kind of action in place for when the unexpected comes along. It's part of being prepared in the journey, part of getting the desired effect you want from the actions you take. Today, I guess my challenge is to look at those people in my chapter who I know would not only be ready, willing, and able to help me, but could, in fact, give me the help I might be needing in a particular situation. And have a chat with them maybe today about, would it be okay if I reached out to you if I hit this roadblock? Would it be okay if I reached out to you if I hit this other obstacle in my path? Could you help me so that I was prepared to take the action I needed to take when the emergency arose? One of the most impactful things we can do as we live our lives is to be in a state of readiness, in a state of preparedness for when an emergency arises. I can guarantee you that an emergency will arise at some point in time. It's just the way life is. You can go along for a long period of time and not have any issues, and you think you have it made. And then all of a sudden, something happens to it, and you find yourself in a state of confusion or a state of stress where you need to take immediate action. And it is having the ability to take that immediate action that so often determines the outcomes of our journeys. Yes, there will be challenges. Yes, there will be obstacles that threaten to destroy the progress we've made. But with a cast of supporters surrounding us, we will all be able to get through it and move forward in our paths, whatever they may be. Affect the effects. Take the actions now to be prepared to go through the challenges that present themselves so that you will be able to achieve the effects that you wish in your journey. If you ever need some help, just remember, I'm here for you too. I'm one of your top's friends, and together we're going to make it through one day, sometimes 1 hour, sometimes even minute by minute, but we are going to make it through and get the success that we are working so hard to achieve. You have a great week. I wish you much happiness and joy. Take it easy. Bye for now.